What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Web Snapper here. I really need to get a new name for this series because that's what this is. This is going to be a new series, I guess. That's kind of the direction that I'm going, where I pose up my favorite and popular Marvel Comics groups and catalog it for my reference for when I have space to actually do something with these figures, and for inspiration for you guys as well. If you guys need pose ideas, save these videos and reference them at your leisure. But this time, obviously, we're going to be doing the New Avengers. Now, this comic book series is easily one of my favorites of all time. I love the New Avengers, and the storyline, the art, the character, just everything about it is just amazing. And so we're getting really close to having a really good lineup of these guys. Now, for this display, I'll walk through with everything that I'm going to be using for my New Avengers display. So we'll start off here. Shout out to Web Figures for this, the base body for this. He actually bought it for me, $10 from off of Amazon, or not Amazon, eBay. And of course, he came with the real head, but I don't like the real heads. This one was a little bit more fitting, and he also didn't come with the toe articulation. So if you notice that's kind of what the deal is with the Spider-Man figure. But it's kind of an adult Spider-Man, and Spider-Man was adult when he joined the New Avengers, so this figure makes sense for me. Then we've got the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Wolverine. Not the right suit for him, but it is the best thing I have for now. This is a placeholder for when the Astonishing Wolverine comes out. He will be replaced, but this is a stand-in. And then I am using the Skrull Queen version of Spider-Woman, primarily because of the double-jointed elbows and knees. This figure is not that fun to pose, but this is where I feel she belongs most in my collection with the New Avengers. So I try to do the best I can with her. I like the zapping hands to give her some power effects, something the other one lacked a lot. So this is a small upgrade over the Skrull Queen, but this is what I'll be doing with her. And then another shout out to Web Figures for letting me borrow his 80th anniversary Captain America. Now mine broke. Mine fell off the shelf and the arm popped off, or didn't really pop, it broke, and it is beyond repair, unfortunately. So this is the Captain America that I think fits the New Avengers aesthetic. So yeah, still an amazing figure. I would love to get my hands on a replacement one, because for this display to be complete for me, I'm going to need a new Captain America. But for now, this figure was on lease for the video. And of course, one of my favorite members of the New Avengers is Iron Man, and I was so excited. This Iron Man is just an absolute home run. Like, Hasbro just, oh man, I'm still kind of geeking about it. Like, this is a really, really good figure. Butterfly joints on Iron Man, I mean, the right way. Anyway, this is obviously the armor that he had, or darn near close to it. Good enough for me. I'd rather have him in this group than the Extremis. Extremis is more like the Mighty Avengers lineup, which I can't wait to try and set up. But anyway, this is the Iron Man that I'll be using, and where he will be in my collection and / display. And then moving along, the Defenders. It came with the Claire 2-pack. I can't wait to replace this. Maybe it'll be here. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be replaced by the new Luke Cage or not. But this is the Luke Cage that I feel like belongs in this display. He's a little small when standing next to. Actually, no, he's not. I thought he was a little bit. He's just a little skinny. But anyway, not much to say with him. He gets the job done. And of course, we're using the new Sentry for the Sentry. I mean, better than the older one. And so this was a really good update. Still has pins, oddly, but regardless, a very needed update. And so now all we're missing is it's a Ronin, a really good Ronin. And then I think I'll be happy, and I'll consider this team complete. So, before we get into making these displays, I have a little bit of a haul, and so if you're interested in that, keep on watching. If not, feel free to skip to the part of the video where I actually start making the displays. So hope this is helpful, and let me know what you guys think. Did I do them justice? And if there was one that was your favorite, leave the timestamp and let me know. So let's get into the video. So I decided we're going to start this video off with a little bit of a haul, kind of give you a precursor to see what is coming next with regards to content. So this first box was from Hasbro, and they were doing a sale, so I won't spoil it, so to give it, you know, the haul some purpose and see what we got in here. And of course, it is none other than... yeah, Bucky Cap. Yay, we got a new Bucky Cap. I love this character. I loved his run in the comic books, so I'm super excited to finally have this. It was super expensive for a long time, then it went down in price on the Hasbro Pulse website. And so now we are opening something from Hobby Link Japan, which is my go-to for import figures, especially Mafex. So this is a bigger box, and so this is really the precursor for the content that's coming, and I'm currently working on it right now. So I'll let me take these figures out of the box so you can see what it is I picked up. So, as you can see, not one, but two Mafex figures. This was a super exciting haul. I've never gotten this many at once. And so we got Jubilee and Storm. Yeah, wow. So the Jubilee was on sale, and I think they were both like $60 a piece. This was the last one in stock on Hobby Link Japan, so that was really cool. Right after I ordered it, it said it was like out of stock, so I was like, wow, I got the last one. I really needed to hop on it. And of course we got Storm, and so I'll be interested to see if I like the Marvel Legends one, so I'll see if I think it's going to be worth the upgrade or not. But yeah, so I got these three figures while I was recording, so I was like, hey, let's do a mini haul. So we got another little haul here, and as you can see, big box. Can't wait to see my thoughts on this. I've been wanting to get these guys for a very long time, pretty much since they were released. I just didn't think the price necessarily justified what I was getting, and they were on sale, and so I decided to finally go ahead and pull the trigger. So I'm just throwing it in this video because, you know what, unboxings are fun to watch. And so let's see here. As you can see, first item, boom. Yeah, this is cool. Can't wait to get a closer look at these and see what all they can do. I'm really excited about this, and I can't wait to have just another good classic-ish looking Thor to add into the collection. So I'll get these out and give you all my thoughts once I open these up into another clip. So move on, and yeah, you can see already in here we got the Super Adaptoid, and I don't know, this is a great figure. I really wanted to have this in my collection. There's a lot to be desired, I think. It's a great base, you know, it's a great start, but there definitely is a lot to be desired with this figure. Now I'm gonna go ahead and look at, after I open this up, I'll throw some reference art and we'll see kind of what I might do to make this cooler and a little bit more comic accurate. But these are the two recent pickups. I think this dropped down to 27, and this was like 32. So again, when you're looking about that, that's pretty good for a 12-inch figure, and about 15 a piece, especially for the Destroyer. That's pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, cool haul. I just got back from vacation too, so yeah, this is a really cool thing to come home to, and they're great deals. So I bought them while I was on vacation, and I got them delivered to my house. So yeah, let's keep it moving on and get a closer look at the figures. Okay, so I kind of got it posed up a little, just experimenting lightly, and I got to say, it's not bad. It's definitely better than I was anticipating. The only thing that I noticed, and I'll show up a few images here, he just needs wings, really. The figure pose is nice. It's got a nice little ball joint there, nice ab crunch. There is the issue with the fact that the shield doesn't actually fit on the arm, but with a little warm water, you can pop this rubber piece off and slide the hands in and such, and you can get it to work. It just is odd that it came this way. It doesn't really upset me, really, as long as this figure's got the articulation and the sculpt. It works, and I don't care that much about this figure, which is why, or the character per se, it's nice to have in the collection. I think it's an iconic part of the Marvel Universe. Just really just needed some wings, and I think it would have been just fine. And it looks cool. It'll look great on a display. Don't know where I'm putting it. Probably with AIM. I think they're the ones that created this. So anyway, yeah, not a bad figure. Just needs some wings, and I have to figure out how I want to design those. This feels kind of cheap, if you can hear it. That's kind of odd, but anyway, nah, I'm happy with this for 27 bucks. It could have been a lot worse, honestly, and it's on sale, so we'll see. I'll see what I can manage to come up with to fix this up a little bit to really capture the Super Adaptoid. But anyway, those were my thoughts on the Super Adaptoid. Okay, so we got the Thor and Destroyer 2-pack out, and I gotta say, pretty impressed with the Destroyer. That's got a lot of articulation, really already a ton of fun to pose. The only thing that I don't really like, the single jointed elbows. I don't like really the head articulation very much. And then I think that it could have used maybe a black wash on the lines, but I mean, that's just a minor gripe. Everything else is really cool. But definitely won't need another one of these. The Thor's interesting. The helmet, the head sculpts are really good on this figure. Obviously, those are the highlight. And then I don't really enjoy a plastic cape, so I'll probably be switching that out. And then these are pretty plain, and they got pins. So it's a little weird when you get a pinless figure with a pin figure, but it's okay. I'm not really, again, I'm not that worked up about this design for Thor, and I'm not really that worked up about Destroyer. Plus, I got him for about, what, if this was like 32, a little over $16-17 a piece. So 17, yeah. So I'm happy with $17 for these two figures. I'm also kind of surprised with how good this head is. The face, let's see if I can get the zoom. That's kind of impressive. So anyway, thought that was neat. And then these two, again, yeah, they're cool. I was kind of thinking about putting him in my Galactus display. It's a little bit later than classic, but still has a very retro aesthetic to it, I guess, that I was kind of aiming for with the Galactus display. So anyway, those are my quick thoughts. Posed them up a little bit. They're fun. Definitely glad I have them in my collection. So for some of these clips, you'll see my displays in a new cube. My girlfriend had actually gotten me this for Christmas, so I really wanted to utilize it and see how the content looks. It does take up a lot of space, so I don't use it throughout the whole thing. So here's our first display, and this one was pretty dynamic. Most of them are utilizing flight stands. So the whole point, just like the last video, I'm trying to find a setup that I like to be definitive, at least in a general sense, and post it so that I can document and come back to it later. This next configuration isn't really my favorite. I like the Iron Man pose and Spider-Man. I think there's just too many of the figures on the ground and things just aren't evenly distributed. I think if Iron Man was in the middle like that and there was more figures surrounding him, it would be a little bit better. So then I tried to put Spider-Man up behind him to even it out because I did notice that problem. And so I have him web swinging. But the overall aesthetic just isn't quite right for me. So with this new setup, I think there's a lot more that I like about it. Obviously, I like the Luke Cage leaping out. That's a really cool pose. I like having Sentry flying out. Spider-Man's, they're all kind of going out in their own direction. I think the thing that really takes this display down a notch is just how I had Iron Man standing there. I just tried to have him down on the ground a little bit, but I don't think it's working. But beyond that, this one's pretty cool. So I'm starting to bring out some accessories for different characters like webs and the shield throwing effect for Captain America. Now this setup actually came out pretty well. I really like it. I think my biggest problem with it is the empty space that you'll see here below Spider-Woman. I think that's just too big and needs I think maybe I could have put Wolverine there. I just don't think I was using enough figures for this kind of display. This was another cool configuration. This time I swapped out Spidey with the Iron Spider, as that was one of his looks during the early days of New Avengers. I think a lot of the poses here are really good. I really like that Iron Man one. The Sentry is cool. I used those Namor hands. The Luke Cage pose was different, and so everything is kind of working with this. My issue was, first of all, I just didn't have Wolverine still, and the figures were just too far apart. So I try to address that problem a little bit here and push them closer together, and while also bringing out a new pose for Spider-Man using the legs. I came to the conclusion that I'm going to end up using the red and blue Spider-Man for this, and I got a Captain America pose that I think I'm really going to stick with. It's different enough from what I usually have with my Cap figures, and it's pretty dynamic. But with the general placement of these figures, I think I'm starting to really find a general look that I like, and so really it comes down to tweaking the individual pose for the figures, but the placement looks good. Instead of bringing out the Mafex Wolverine, I brought out the Marvel Legends Wolverine from my Galactus display, as it's the closest thing to the Astonishing Wolverine that I have. And this is definitely the pose I'm going to be keeping for Spider-Man. I'm starting to think about changing up Spider-Woman's pose a little bit, and the Sentry. I thought this was a cool head swap to do for the Sentry, where I just put the 20th anniversary Captain America head on it, because he had short hair at one point. And so this last display here, I think, really captured my eye and is where I wanted to land. Something, I realized I had too many figures maybe in the air, and I wanted it to be more solid looking. And so I was happy with all the poses and the placements for that matter. I feel like everyone's pose captures the essence of each character, and they stand out, hold their own presence, which is really important when you have a group displays. You want every figure to shine. I like the different use of accessories, and really happy with the updated figures that are in this display as well. I don't really like the Spider-Woman pose that much. The figure's just not fun to pose in general, but I think the way I have her situated in this configuration works. And I like the Wolverine pose as well. I don't know if that's definitive for this display or not, but I definitely want another figure on the ground. So there, that wraps it up. I think this is where I'm going to land with the New Avengers, and then I made a little kind of name display card. It's a first draft, but I think it accentuates the display, and so I threw it up there with the group posing. I'll be continuing this series with more videos to come. But in the meantime, again, make sure you follow me on Instagram at WeaponWebSnappers. I do try to post more frequently there. But go ahead and drop the timestamp of which display was your favorite. And I just want to say thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.